Hello and welcome. I would like to introduce you today to Akiel Pyant, the founder and the head of investor relations from AI Capital. Hi, Akiel, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Oh, just fine. So glad to have you here today. Adding to what I just introduced you to our audience with, would you like to add something as to what have been your key contributions to the real estate and construction industry at large?
Yes. So like she said, my name is Akiel Pyant. It is a pleasure to meet everyone. I've been in the industry for about 4 years now. I graduated undergrad in 2017, but I one of the first key contributions I got my master's in real estate development in 2019 at the University of Maryland, which expanded my horizon more than I can even ever imagine. The ability to learn about real estate is great within itself because not only did I was able to learn it in an education field, but I was able to take everything that I've learned and with that I just teach people as I go. The opportunity, excuse me, to lift while I climb is something that I hold dear to my heart. With that being said, I founded AI Capital in 2019, where me and my business partner, Isaiah Hasward, we are focusing on multifamily properties and we're trying to invest in them, specifically Class A and Class B, Class C properties within the DMV area and the Carolinas, but we are open to all areas right now. So, we also have a podcast known as AI Capital Podcast. For this podcast, we typically interview all sorts of real estate professionals from all sectors because we all know in real estate, there are many sectors. It's not just residential. Hey, can you sell me a home?
Right.
Right. It is the commercial aspect. It is the offices that you work in. It is the retail tenants, the restaurants that you go to. But how does that get constructed? Now we have to go into construction and the engineering and how do they know what to construct? Now you have to get an architecture and things just keep going and going and going. So with that being said, we utilize our power with this podcast in interviewing all sorts of different real estate specific professionals, and so that they can teach the audience about what they know. In addition to that, I think lastly, I currently serve on the University of Maryland Alumni Association, where I serve under the Real Estate Development Professional Development Committee, where, even during COVID, my job is to help bring more undergrads and graduate students into the industry as well. So those are some of my, contributions, and I'm really happy and really excited to see where it could go.
Well, that's very interesting. I mean, you've been doing so much at the same time, introducing your company and then your podcast. Everything seems so interesting and intriguing, I must say. So, Akhil, what prompted you to attend our recently concluded real estate and construction conference?
Yes, so in the industry, there's a lot of conferences that go on, but with this specific conference, it was a little unique because the conferences that I go to are typically one specific sector of real estate, whereas this one, it was real estate and construction. And so with that being said, I learned about it a little bit, looked into it, did my research a little bit, and it was a fascinating conference. In all honesty, first of all, I was able to go to Las Vegas, which was great within itself. But the connections that I made were amazing, and what prompted me to do this is, okay, like I just said, with the contributions that I'm trying to make on a local scale, perhaps this could be an opportunity to do this on a national scale. Why not? Why not take that chance? Real estate is all about risks and calculated risk. Why not take that risk in the chance that perhaps I could reach out to someone across the country? And that's essentially what's spiraled into that. I've made long-lasting relationships. During the conference, I was able to lead a panel where we talked about diversity and inclusion in the real estate industry. It was about 4 different panelists, and I was able to moderate that panel. and it was great. It was a wonderful feeling to just know that, to feed off of knowledge from other people, because there were things that I didn't know there about
Mm-hmm.
their sector of the industry. There was things that they didn't know about my sector of the industry and the experience that I have as well. Because not only am I just focusing in multifamily, but on my day-to-day job, I also focus on shopping centers and leasing those shopping centers. So very, very, very great conference. It was a very interesting conference. I'll admit.
Thank you so much for your lovely feedback. I mean, that's really good to hear that you were able to reap out all the, possible opportunities for yourself and get something good out of the conference. So, I mean, just a basic feedback question: how would you rate or summarize your experience at the in-person event, especially in terms of COVID-19? And I mean. We would love for you to, talk about the learning as well as the knowledge sharing aspect.
So rated out of 10
Mm-hmm.
or rated out of
Anyway you like.
I mean, if it's out of 10, then I'll give you probably an 11.
Wow, thank you so
If it's
much.
out of, and that is my honest opinion, because we are going through a pandemic. We are going through unprecedented times.